Suffering is a big part of life, and the doctrine of fascism says that the fascist disdains an easy life and loves austerity and discipline. It makes us grow stronger. In the official position of fascism, it opens up in the doctrine of fascism that perfection is achieved when the soul reaches a purely spiritual state that only death can achieve. It means that our dreams don't come true in this life fully. We are not truly alive until our body has died and we have gone on to our eternal reward. And it is a very fascist belief that the dead continue influencing the living here on earth. And Mussolini promised he would return to a nation in need of a leader the day he died. Knowing he would die, he said, "If you kill me now, I will return to a nation in need of a leader, and you will feel the arm." And so he saw suffering the same way Christ saw suffering, as something redemptive. It is a cross that you offer up to your Creator or your higher power to atone for the sins of this world and for your own perfection. Suffering can be a teacher and teach you many lessons. In Christianity, without the cross, there is no glorious resurrection. It is only after disaster that you can be resurrected. Take away the cross, and you take away the glory of the resurrection. And so Mussolini saw his defeat, and he recognized his errors, and he repented of his alliance with Germany. But he saw his defeat as a type of crucifixion that would eventually lead to a resurrection and a victory. And in his final will, he forgave his betrayers and he forgave his executioners. The doctrine of fascism says the fascist disdains an easy life and loves austerity and loves discipline. And I believe that what he wants us to live is more the little way of Saint Therese of Lisieux. Saint Therese of Lisieux could not do anything great because she was very inept in many ways, and she was not capable of being a missionary like she wanted to, and she was also very feeble and ill, and she died at the age of 24. And yet she became one of the popes declared her to be the greatest saint of modern times. And she became the patron saint of missionaries and missions, and she became one of the only three female doctors of the Catholic Church. She acquired such incredible status because of many miracles she worked after her death, but because, more importantly, she did little things with extremely great love. And so, do little things with great love. She did ordinary chores, ordinary labors, ordinary things around the convent that went unappreciated, nothing that we would think of as extraordinary or special. Yet she turned little things and she made them into something very extraordinary and very special by doing the little things with great love. And when you do little things with great love, it brings God's grace here to earth. And I personally, I'm more reached by the divine feminine, by the women in heaven, that they visit me. The Capitol Hill Queens, I call them, or Rebecca, I believe their names are written in a book of Rebecca. Mussolini means Jacob, and Rebecca was the mother of Jacob. And Rebecca got Jacob the blessing that was reserved for Esau, so that all the Jews and prophets and Messiah would descend from Jacob rather than Esau, because Jacob loved Rebecca tenderly, the woman. And de Montfort says Isaac represents God the Father, and Rebecca represents the Virgin Mary, or the women in heaven who have that certification. And when you love them and you serve them, you will receive graces and blessings unintended for you, because they know how to manipulate God, and they know how to get God to do what he doesn't want to do. Because God's first miracle, Jesus Christ at the wedding at Cana, he worked his first miracle reluctantly because a woman he really loved asked him to. And his hour had not yet come, and it was not his concern that the people were running out of wine, an intoxicating beverage at a party. And yet, because Mary's concern was that they were running out of wine, he reluctantly worked that miracle that he did not want to work. And if you're devoted to Mary, she can get God to work miracles in your life that he does not initially want to work, or that he doesn't care about. He didn't care about the people getting drunk or that they needed more wine, but because Mary cared about it, he reluctantly worked the miracle. And that's the secret of Mary. You can earn blessings and graces unintended for you, destiny unintended for you, or that you haven't worked for, merited, or earned. Back to suffering, though. Offer up your suffering to God. It is a cross. Offer up your suffering for a specific intention. Offer it up to atone for the sins of the world. Offer it up as a crucifixion that will lead to a glorious resurrection. Store up for yourselves treasures in the next life, because our lives on this earth are full of suffering and can end at any time. But there's a lot of women in heaven that would love to comfort you. And so pray to those women. Find your queen in heaven and pray to her. Pray many Hail Marys, pray the Rosary, go to Mass, receive Holy Eucharist for the women in heaven and purgatory, for, and they will reward you tremendously. They will be more gentle and more merciful than God Himself. And they will get God to do acts of kindness and charity and pity for you that He wouldn't ordinarily do. And the queens of heaven, they can take your prayers and your actions, and they can add their merits to them, and they can turn it into their work and purify it of all that displeases God, because they know how to pull the right strings and they know how to manipulate God. They know how to get God to do what He ordinarily wouldn't do, and they know how to delight God, intoxicate God, make God very pleased and happy with your offerings and your prayers. And so do everything for your queen, and it will be brought to God, and she will turn it into her work, into a gift that is most pleasing to God. She will purify it of what the blemishes and the imperfections that would displease God. It's the best way to get the most out of your prayers and out of your sufferings and out of your offerings. God bless you.